Henry! I was wondering when you'd turn up.
Hey, my lovely. Zizka told me you found something out about Liechtenstein.
If only just Liechtenstein. I've only been here a couple of days, but I seem to know everything about this city and its sinful people. And about the Pope, the second Pope, Sigismund, Wenceslas, about the sickness of old men, the desires of young men, who I sometimes have to beat off with a stick. Simply everything. The tavern seems to be the fount of all knowledge.
You'll have to tell me more about the sinning part. That sounds interesting.
You youngsters are all the same. But work before pleasure. After we find Liechtenstein and free Cape Bon, we'll see.
I'll look forward to it. But anyway, about Liechtenstein. Anything new?
Well, there might be something. One of the girls I talked to told me her sweetheart frequents some nasty alehouse. And one of the regulars there recently started buying drinks for the whole house. Which is suspicious, because this fella is practically a beggar. Goatskin, they call him. They asked him where he got the coin, and he boasted that he was spying for some rich lord.
All right. That sounds promising.
Of course, it doesn't have to be Liechtenstein, but there can't be that many rich men who pay spies. And we have to start somewhere.
That's true. And you've spoken to this goatskin fella?
Not yet. I was rather hoping you'd do it. That grubby alehouse is a bit too wild even for me.
Oh, that's saying something. Well, trying to get sense out of drunken wretches is quite a skill of mine. Does this place have a name?
I'm not sure if it's a name, but the locals call it the Hole in the Wall.
I see the owner has got a sense of humour.
Unfortunately, I don't think it's a joke. You'll find it in Hot Prink. There's no other alehouse in that quarter.
So goatskin in the hole in the wall. I reckon I remember that. I'll go and check it out.
Before you go, I wanted to ask. Nobody ever told me why we're actually looking for this Liechtenstein fella.
He might know where they're holding Cape on.
I'm sure lots of people might know that.
But Liechtenstein's on our side. At least I hope he still is. You never know these days.
But who is he? And why is he in Kuttenberg?
He's a young noble from Jobst's council. His family have domains in Moravia and Lower Austria. He's here to gather information about the enemy for Jobst. And judging by how important it was for Istvan to find out where he is, he's a real thorn in their side. And they're out to get him.
So we're getting involved in noblemen's schemes again. That means trouble.
I'll do my best not to get us mixed up in all that.
Sure you will. But it can't be helped. There's a war on, and we have to fight. Watch out for yourself, Henry. I have a bad feeling about that district.
You're not the only one.
I'll be right there!
Look, why don't you drop by and we can talk about it?
What are you roaming around here for? Christ.
I'm looking for a fella called Goatskin.
What's that got to do with me? If you want to nose around here, you'll have to go through Chenyek.
Could you tell me more about this Chenyek?
In case you haven't caught on yet, he's not likely to tell you much. He's got this place under his thumb. That's all.
And where can I find this Chenyek?
How do I know? He'll be round here somewhere. Or not. See if he's with Hugo.
And who's he?
You'll recognize him.
Right. I'm gonna see if I can find that Chenyek.
There you go.
A beer and a rag, please.
Be careful.
I'm looking for a fella called Goatskin. Do you know him?
Aye. But I reckon I ain't gonna tell you nothing.
Why not?
Because I don't know you, and you don't look like you fit in here.
Who are you? And your people?
Well, I'm Chenyek.
Alright. But why all that horse shit about whether I'd fit in with you or not?
Look at it like this. This is a place for a certain sort of people what have their own rules. Although folk usually think we don't play by no rules.
You still haven't told me what you people are. What rules?
If you still ain't twigged, you ain't gonna find out much here. Put it like this. So-called decent folk avoid this here alehouse like the plague.
How about I invite you for a drink? We'll have a beer, chat about life.
You ain't got a clue, do you? Fellas don't come to this place for booze. You cough up a bit of glint, and I'll tell you about Goatskin. But don't bother trying to get matey with me.
I hope it'll be worth it.
That depends how much that wretch is worth to you. What was it you wanted to know?
I'm looking for Goatskin. I hear he used to come here.
Aye. Thing is, ain't nobody seen him here for a few days.
But he used to come here.
Aye. He was here day in, day out. Only this time some burly lads came here and duffed him up proper.
Do you know the men who beat him up?
No. But there were some Jews among them, and that's pretty odd. Seeing as how they don't usually get mixed up in nothing.
Why did they give him such a beating? Did they say anything?
Well, Goatskin is a right knob end. Always asking for it, he is. But I reckon this time it was about his big gob. The last week he was coming, throwing glint around. And when we squeezed him about where he got the coin, he said he was spying for some lord.
And does this lord have a name?
He didn't say. We didn't swallow his yarn about spying anyway. We reckoned he made a score and just wanted to look like a big man.
What happened to Goatskin? Does anyone know where he is now?
No word. But I reckon he's holed up somewhere, licking his wounds. Seems he stuck his nose in a wasp's nest, and he won't be sticking it out again for a while. If you're going to look for him, try it at night. He don't stray far when he's on the job. Usually between Hradek and the horse market. He goes after drunks. So I try asking in the local drinking dens.
All right. What does he look like, though? He can't be the only fella who likes to relieve drunks of their purses.
God's truth. But you'll know Goatskin when you see him. They call him that on account of how he got kicked in the head by a goat as a nipper. He's got a dent in his forehead you could use for a game of marbles.
Why didn't you defend Goatskin? Isn't he one of you?
He is and he ain't. I'm no saint, but that Goatskin stepped in some nasty shit and then walked it in our door and all. I ain't saying we don't look out for each other, but there's limits, innit?
I'm sure you know the town better than me. What drinking dens are there on Goatskin's patch?
Between the horse market and Hradek, there's the Black Horse, a miner's tavern. Wayman the taverner used to be a miner, and then there's the Big Bathhouse. It belongs to some bloke called Adam. He tarted the place up big.
Any others?
None I know.
Thanks. I'll go and look for him.
I wish you luck then. He ain't the brightest, but he's got a real talent for saving his own skin. Once you're done with him, come by and see us. Seems after all you're a pretty handy bloke. We could use the likes of you.
I'll stop by later and we'll see what comes of it.
Grand.
Don't you want to leave already?
Hey, are you goatskin by any chance?
Yeah, that's me, What do you want?
I have a couple of questions for you.
Look, I didn't. I never told nobody. Nobody. I swear. I'll even swear to Samuel on his God if he wants.
Who the hell is Samuel?
You weren't sent by Sam.
I wouldn't be asking you if I was, would I?
You know, like, I promise not to talk about it no more. They'll kill me otherwise.
I get that, but do you think they'll just forget about it? How long do you intend to hide?
Until I have enough. You know, glint to take off.
I could help you with that. I know a lot of people. Getting you out of town won't be a problem. If you help me, I'll help you.
That sounds, you know, promising. But I still need coin. I can't just pack up and take off.
Coin shouldn't be a problem. How much do you want so you can disappear in peace?
Not much, a few score groschen. Well, that won't be a problem for a well-heeled fella like yourself.
Here you are. But you're gonna talk, right?
Right. Well, I like talking, you know, like... What is it you want to know?
I heard you were spying for some nobleman. Is that true?
I was doing nothing but, you know, like, I was spying for 2 weeks.
Who is this Samuel you're so afraid of?
He just hired me. He's one of them lot. You know, them Jews, innit? He was nice to me till I started blabbering.
Do you know where I could find this Samuel?
Go to that, you know, synagogue. He hangs around it in front of it and people, like, brings him news of what's on the grapevine, you know. And evenings he sits around at the King Solomon. It's like a, you know, a Jewish tavern. But watch out. They ain't too welcoming towards our people there.
Have you ever heard the name Liechtenstein?
I don't know him, but I heard Samuel telling his people, like them Jews, I mean, about this, what's his name? Liechtenstein.
What exactly did he say? Did he speak about him in a good way or a bad way?
I don't know. I just remembered a funny name. I don't pay much heed to things that what don't concern me.
And you call yourself a spy?
Watch it, mate. I remember things well enough, but only what they pays me to remember. I ain't gonna, you know, fill my head up with shit that don't concern me for free.
Jesus wept. What is it you did as a spy?
Mostly I was standing guard in front of that palace, you know, like Rutard's place. I was watching for who was going in and out, see? You know, who, with who, where, when, and that.
And what went on there?
Well, people was coming and going, all sorts of nobles, and I'd tell Samuel what colours they was carrying, see? I was good at that. I remember pictures good, you know?
I reckon I know what I need to know. Now clear off, since I've filled your purse for you.
Of course. I'm going.
Aye, come here.
Good day.
God be with you.
Sholem, are you lost? Or what would a goy want here?
Goy?
You do not know this word?
Sorry, I don't.
Then you are a goy. What do you want here?
I'm looking for Samuel.
What do you want with him?
Is that you?
There are many Samuels here. And if I'm not good enough for you, I'm afraid nobody else will talk to you.
All right. I'm looking for John of Liechtenstein. I heard you, or this Samuel, might know something about him.
I'm sure Samuel knows a lot. But I do not see why he should tell you.
It isn't just anyone looking for Liechtenstein. It'd be better for Samuel to say what he knows, if he doesn't want any unnecessary trouble.
I do not care who sent you. You will not impress me like that. We play by my rules here.
So how can I impress you?
Impressions are worth nothing. I'm only of interest to you Goyim when you need something. To you, I'm just a dirty Jew.
All right. What do you suggest?
An exchange. Something in return. I have this one problem none of my people can fix.
Well, if your people can't handle it, why not?
You are no better than my people. But unfortunately, they were all born under our star, and that is a problem in this case.
I understand. What's this about, then?
You probably know that my people face outbreaks of hatred from time to time. A house is plundered, people beaten up, sometimes murdered. Usually it is started by some scum spreading rumors that we eat Christian babies or poison wells. They always find some excuse.
I've never heard anything like that before.
You must be deaf then. In any case, that is how it is. I have heard that such people are meeting in an old abandoned house by the wall in the mining district. I need someone to get among them, find out what they are planning, and warn us in good time.
All right. I'll do it. And then you'll tell me all about Liechtenstein.
Agreed. They usually meet at the start of the day.
At the start of the day according to my calendar, or yours?
I see you're in the know. At the start of my day, so when the first 3 stars come out.
Right. So they meet after sunset. The miners' district, an abandoned house with a small yard by the ramparts.
That's right. I reckon you can still catch up with them there today. If you get them to let you join them. Try and find out what they're planning, and then come and see me, and you'll have fulfilled your side of the deal.
And then you'll tell me how to find Liechtenstein?
That was my promise. And I keep my promises.
Open up! Open up!
Curwell, what are you doing, Moish?
Foot's a capora, piece of junk. Never mind. We'll cut this shit down. Shit ist zum Teufel! Ah! You want to try me?
Wait! Don't kill him! You're gonna beg for mercy? After this?
We can make a deal. We have some of your people, we can exchange them.
Our people? What the hell are you talking about?
We caught some of them yesterday, trying to get to Liechtenstein, just like you.
Oh, I'm after Liechtenstein because I need to talk to him. I'm not his enemy. But if you know where he is, you better take me to him. Right now.
I have my orders. I'm not supposed to let anyone near him. Especially not someone who just beat my 2 best men. I'm not a fool.
Right. I'll go unarmed. If that'll convince you.
I'll trust you. But in return, you have to trust me. You can't see where we're going.
All right. But no tricks.
Those are the rules.
Wait, who is that somewhere?
We will soon find out. Let us in.
Wenches or the neighbour's daughter, any dirt you can dig up. Off you go! Oh, who have you brought now, Sam?
I'm not entirely sure, but he says he knows you, and absolutely insisted he had to talk to you.
Ah. Of course. Henry. Lord Capon of Perkstein's page. We met on my visit to Rattay. He's all right.
Lord Capon's escort. And bodyguard.
Quite. Quite. But tell me, what brings you here?
Well, that's quite a long story, sir.
I've got plenty of time, and actually I enjoy long stories. You know why? Because they demand a lot of wine. Please, take a seat, and tell me everything.
If I'm not mistaken, Jobst sent you to von Berkhoff with a message. How did that go?
In a word, badly.
Oh, how's that?
I hardly know where to start. I'm lucky to be alive. In any case, neither von Berghoff nor the League of Lords are planning to join Jobst.
Good God! I need a drink now. But did you manage to deliver the message in the end?
We did.
And? What was von Berghoff's reaction?
That bastard first used us, and then wanted to get rid of us. We only just avoided being killed.
Sacre. So there's no chance the League of Lords will turn against Sigismund?
No chance. On the contrary. Von Berghoff and von Aulitz came here to Kuttenberg to be at Sigismund's beck and call.
Christ. And what are you doing here, actually?
I came here with a man called Zizka.
Zizka? Jan Zizka of Trotsnov?
You know him?
Of course I do. Zizka is in the service of Prokop of Luxembourg, King Wenceslas's cousin.
Aye, we found that out as well. What was strange was that his band was infiltrated by Istvan Toth, if you remember.
That rat from Talmberg. What was he doing there?
It turned out he was spying for von Berghoff. But he didn't do a great job, fortunately. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here.
I am starting to get confused.
That makes two of us. Maybe we'll understand better if we get drunk.
You're not holding back, I see. Your health, then. After Zizka took us prisoner, it finally became clear we were on the same side, and Istvan had to flee.
So the fucker's still alive?
Not any longer.
You? Well done. Let's drink to that.
To our enemy's death.
Just when we thought we were out of the woods and Istvan was gone, he appeared outside the walls of Nabokov again, with von Berghoff and Markvart von Aulitz. Von Aulitz was on his way to Kuttenberg with reinforcements for Sigismund. And with the finger of God.
With the what?
A bombard.
Good Lord!
Have you ever seen one? I hadn't, until they used it against us.
I've heard about the bombard. An infernal weapon. Then what?
Well, things happened quickly. They took us captive, tortured us, and we escaped. On the way, I threw Istvan out of a window in von Berghoff's castle. And now we're here, me and Zizka. And Catherine, who literally saved our necks from the executioner's axe.
Dull moment with you, I see. To happy endings, then. And where is Lord Capon? Or should I call him the Prince of Poachers?
Well, the most fitting thing to call him would be hostage. Because that's what he is now.
A hostage?
That's right. Von Berghoff took him with him. And that's why I'm here, in fact.
Your original plan went badly awry, I must say.
Well, it could have been worse.
That's the way of the world. For my part, I'm forced into hiding, as you've probably noticed. They're after me as if I owed taxes. Ah, if only I knew what Jobst would say.
I know exactly what he'd say as it happens.
You do?
I spoke to Jobst just after we arrived at Suchdal. He expressly forbade me to look for you, or try to rescue Capon.
That damned... Did he say why?
Aye. He said you can look after yourself. And as a nobleman, Capon has nothing to fear in captivity.
Ah, Jobst.
If we cause trouble for Sigismund, it could threaten his plans, he said. That's cowardice, if you ask me.
It's true I can take care of myself, but the old schemer could at least have warned me, whatever his plans might be.
Zizka sees Jobst as a pain in the arse, too. I mean, he's not fond of him. And he doesn't approve of his plan.
Then I expect he and I will see eye to eye. Although I prefer a different strategy to braining all and sundry with a mace. Even so, what brings you to me? You didn't take this risk just to tell me what Jobst is like, or that I should carry on with what I'm doing.
No. My first concern is to rescue Lord Capon, whatever schemes Jobst is dreaming up.
And then...
And also, it's about your safety.
My safety?
You know, they tortured us. Zizka, Godwin and me. They asked about Jobst's plans and about you. I'd have held out, but Godwin... He told them where you were.
Where I am? In this city, you mean? That's not such a terrible betrayal. Gutenberg is a big city. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack.
Not that they have not tried. They almost caught you a couple of times. If it were not for my people.
That's true, of course. But I'm not going to bear a grudge. The executioner always gets what he wants. And if he hadn't, we wouldn't be talking right now.
I apologize.
No need. It's not your fault. Nevertheless, let's turn the page. Capon. How do you plan to free him?
That's exactly why I came to see you.
Oh. How's that?
Because you know how to do it. Don't you?
You have a lot of confidence in me.
Well, I don't have many options. Well then, am I right?
Sigismund confiscated the property of some burghers and noblemen in the city when they opposed him, and he divided the property up between his loyal followers. He seized Malashov Fortress from the Rutards, for instance. And didn't you say, Sam, that he gifted it to von Berkhoff?
Yes, that is so.
That was before von Berkhoff was in these parts. But if he's here now, where else would he be but in Malashov? And if von Berkhoff is there...
That's where his captive will be.
Correct. Capon is at Malashov Fortress.
Well, that's fucked then. How the hell three of us conquer a fortress, and one of us a woman?
That's a conquest I'd like to see. It would go down in history.
The history of suicidal madness.
But I wouldn't underestimate this Catherine. If she managed to save you all from the executioner, I'd like to meet her. You can't just launch an assault on Malashov. It's a strong fortress. We'll need a cunning plan.
Or long ladders and lots of men. That could be arranged, maybe.
Careful! Jobst ordered us not to stir up trouble. And this would be serious trouble. But if Capon simply vanished...
Vanished how, exactly?
I don't know yet. But like I said, Malashov belonged to the Rutards. And I'm sure they're not keen on the new tenant. I think if you pay a visit to Sir Kunslin Rutard and convince him you have common interests, he'll be happy to think up a solution with you.
Like what?
Who knows? Perhaps Lord Rutard knows of a back door into his old home, and he might not be averse to an arrangement with someone who will help him take revenge.
Someone like you.
Well, I wouldn't get my hopes up. But it's the best we've got, and there's no harm in trying. Where can I find this Kunslin?
Sigismund seized his fortress, but, surprisingly, he let him keep his palace in the city. It's right next to the Italian court.
All right. I'll give it a go.
Once you have some news, you know where to find me. Is there anything you want to know before you go?
All right. I'll set off now.
Good luck. It was good to see you again, Henry. And be careful. There's bound to be spies swarming around the palace. This city isn't safe.
Tell me about it. Danger is my daily bread these days.